literally started calling her all types of weirdos to her face. Like, and I honestly, to this day, I don't regret it, because what the fuck is wrong with you? So then she starts yelling back, and she's like,
don't disrespect me in my house. Your attitude is always so nasty, and that's why he's cheating on you now.
Bitch. So I was like, yeah, and that's why his dad cheated on you and had 2 babies on you. And she was like,
why would you say something like that? Have you lost your mind?
so I have type 4 hair, and y'all, this man will always say little things like,
I hope when we have kids, they get my hair and not your nappy hair. Your hair is not good. Like, you got BDBs in the back of your neck.
I'm not gonna lie, y'all. When I come back from vacation, I am always super, super, super bronzed, chocolate. I'm always dark. And y'all, do y'all know this man turned to me with such disgust in his eyes, y'all. And he was like,
You are so dark.
y'all all colorists, and y'all are all black as shit.
Welcome back to another episode of Clocked Out Conversations. I'm your host, Fahim, and today we got some more TikTok content. Storytime. My boyfriend's mom helped him cheat on me. I'm not here to waste your time. Like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more, and let's get into it.
A lot of boy moms are straight up birds and straight weirdos. Hey y'all, I'm Lily, and my boyfriend's mom helped him cheat on me. Yes. Let me explain what happened. Y'all already know with my story times, I tell you guys who is who, what is what, and what's tea. Let's get right into it, y'all. This is another story time about Thomas the Train. If you're new here, Thomas the Train is one of my ex-boyfriends. I call him Thomas the Train because this man has a round head, a fat face, and he has big old eyes. He literally looks like Thomas the Train, y'all, like, for real. But we're gonna call him Tommy for short. And today I'm introducing Tommy's mom, who we're going to call Eagle. We're gonna call her Eagle because eagles are big, bald birds. I don't think I need to elaborate. This story took place back in 2019. This was the beginning of me and Tommy's relationship. It honestly should have been the end. So during this time period, I don't know what was in the air, y'all, but me and Tommy were fighting like cats and dogs. Okay, we were beefing like actual enemies. I don't know what that was about. This was the beginning of the relationship. So like, why are y'all already fighting so much? It should have been done there. So I remember one day I had told Tommy, you know what? I'm done. I'm done fighting with you. I'm not going back and forth with you. I want to break up. And y'all, Tommy literally was like,
Okay, fine. If that's what you want, that's fine. We could break up.
that was a red flag immediately, because one thing about Tommy never left me alone. Okay, if you know, you know. Okay, Tommy used to straight up say no. So I was like, why is he giving in so easily? I literally remember just staring at the phone for a second because I was like, okay, yeah, you want some weird shit. So I remember I had just hung up on him. But like, y'all, the more I was sitting and thinking about the fact that he just said okay to me breaking up with him, like, I was like, something is not right. So I remember I had called him later and I was like, I'm coming to get my stuff. And he was like,
Oh, I'm not home right now. And by the time I get home, it's going to be late. So you can just come tomorrow.
Tomorrow. So I'm like, where is Eagle at? She's not home. He talking about,
No, she's not home. She at her boyfriend's house.
so I'm like, okay, is your brother home? He talking about,
My brother is not home.
yeah. His brother didn't have no job, no friends, no girlfriend, not a pot to fucking piss in. That man did not used to leave the fucking house. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna come another day, knowing damn well I was about to get my ass right in that car and zoom straight to his house, because you're lying. This day, I just felt it in my bones, y'all. And so I remember I had like waited like an hour because I literally had sat at my house, y'all, gaslighting myself, even though I knew Tommy was a liar. Tommy used to lie about air and water. Like, them big ass eyes would get real like shifty, and he would just lie straight through them big ass teeth of his. Like, he wasn't even a good liar, y'all. Like, he used to say anything. So I was like, you know what? No, I'm going over there. I pull up to his house, and I already think y'all know whose broke down, raggedy ass, scraped up ass car I see front and center. Tommy's. So not only do I see Tommy's car, but I see Eagle's raggedy ass car too. You're a liar. So I get out the car and I'm walking up to the door, girl, my heart is pounding. So I get to the door. I'm knocking on the door. There's no answer. So I knock again, and this time I hear whispering. I can't make out what's being said, but I can hear Eagle's voice. So I start calling both of them, and neither one of them are answering their phone. I can literally hear them whispering through the door. So Eagle opens the door finally, and she's like,
Hey, Lily, you didn't tell me you were coming?
not once have I ever called this lady to ever tell her that I was ever coming to her house. So I try and immediately like walk past her to go to the back, like where Tommy's room is. And she's like,
Lily, come in my room. Like, I want to show you what I bought today.
I'm not gonna lie, this wasn't out the ordinary because like she would always call me in her room to show me things that she bought, like when she went shopping. So I was like, but when I got in her room, she closed the door. She don't ever close her door, like ever. It's always wide open. So she's showing me the stuff that she bought or whatever. And I'm not gonna lie, at a point, it seemed like she just started pulling shit out her ass, y'all. Like, cause she needed to stall. So I ended up telling her, like, you know, I just came to grab something really quickly from Tommy. I'm in a rush right now. And so I try to leave. Do y'all know that this big ass lady jumped her ass in front of her door and was like,
You can't go out there.
what? She's like,
Him and his brother are back there. They're about to take something out, and I don't want you to see it.
bitch, am I 5? And what the fuck are they taking out? Is it a body? Like, what are you talking about right now? So I told her, like, I have to go. So at this point, she's literally ignoring me, okay? But she's still standing in front of her door. So I go to the window in her room because he literally would have to, like, walk past her window to get to his car. If he didn't walk past the window, he would have to walk all the way around his building. Do y'all know that this lady called her son and said,
Take the long way because she's standing at the window?
you a op for real? I got so mad, y'all, and I literally just started going off on her. So I just started telling her, like, you are not only a poor excuse for a mother, but for a woman. How dare you help this man cheat on me and you smile in my face every single day? I literally started calling her all types of weirdos to her face. Like, and I honestly, to this day, I don't regret it because what the fuck is wrong with you? So then she starts yelling back and she's like,
Don't disrespect me in my house. Your attitude is always so nasty, and that's why he's cheating on you now.
bitch. So I was like, yeah, and that's why his dad cheated on you and had 2 babies on you. And she was like,
Why would you say something like that? Have you lost your mind?
and so I just started laughing. One thing about me, when I get nervous or if I'm like in an uncomfortable situation, like I start laughing. So I start laughing and she's like, and you think this is funny? You think this is funny? And so she's just yelling at this point. She's going on and on and on. So while she's in the middle of her yelling, I hear the front door slam. I have never used all my might to push somebody so big out the way. I literally pushed her and I ran straight through that front door. Y'all, why when I get outside do I see Tommy and a girl running to his car? So I'm standing there looking stupid, mouth just open wide, just looking dumb. Like, I could not believe my eyes. Like, I knew he was on some fuckery, but like somewhere in the back of my mind, I still was like in denial. So I started to like run a little bit in their direction, and then I just stopped because I was like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, so they ended up getting in the car and then they just sped off. So I'm just standing there just dumbfounded because I could not believe this was happening. I remember going back in the house to get my purse, and I remember Eagle just standing there looking so stupid. I had rolled my eyes so hard at her and I was like, you were just so disgusting. And then I just got my stuff and left. So Tommy calls me later on that night. I don't even know why I answered, y'all. He talking about,
I know it looks bad, but that girl, she lives in my apartment building. She just had to use the restroom. And I know you be tripping. Like, I know you was gonna go crazy if you seen a girl in the house.
all I could do was laugh, y'all. Because what? So I'm like, why did your mom tell me that you were cheating on me then? Y'all, the phone went dead silent. He talking about,
Oh, you know my mom. She just be saying anything. She just be talking.
y'all, I hung up in his face because don't play with me. Me and Tommy did stay broken up, but we did get back together after like 2 months of our breakup. I know. I have so many stories about Tommy and Eagle and also the nonsense that I was doing during that breakup time. But we gonna get into all of that later. I realized a lot of boy moms are really coddlers and enablers to grown-ass men, and it's really disgusting and disturbing. So what did we learn today, y'all? If you're breaking up with somebody, stand on it, because you're doing it for a reason. That man's mom is not your friend, okay? She's gonna ride for her son every time. And 3, beat his mama up. I'm just playing. Anyway. Stay blessed. Bye, y'all. If you date a black girl, she's gonna have black hair, black skin, and black features. I didn't know that was like rocket science. I don't know. Hey, y'all. I'm Lily, and I was in a full-blown relationship with a full-blown colorist. Hold on. Let me explain. So y'all already know with my story times, I tell you guys who is who, what is what, and what's tea. Let's get right into it, y'all. We're going to call him Thomas, like Thomas the Train, or Tommy for short. I'm calling him Thomas the Train because, y'all, this man has a round head, his face is fat, and he has big old eyes. Like, he literally looks like Thomas the Train. So along the course of our relationship, Thomas would always make comments that were like super colorist when I look back. But in the moment, I didn't feel like they were a big deal because he wasn't saying anything that I hadn't heard, like either at home or like at school, or just not even pertaining to me, but like in the Black community in general. So the first thing that I can recall that was super colorist and like a big red flag was he was always talking about my nose, y'all. He was always making jokes, making comments about the size of my nose, you guys. He would just always make sure to let me know that my nose was big, as if I already did not know that. And thank God I was never like a insecure girl when it came to like my nose. I never felt ugly, I guess you could say. And I'm gonna be honest too, I was used to comments about my nose size. My siblings literally would make fun of me. When I would go to school, the kids would make fun of my nose. But like I said, like my nose has never been something that I've been like self-conscious about or insecure about. So again, I was like letting these comments, I guess you could say, slide. Another red flag that I would disregard was the fact that he was always talking about my hair. So I have type 4 hair, and y'all, this man will always say little things like,
I hope when we have kids, they get my hair and not your nappy hair. Your hair is not good. Like, you got BDBs in the back of your neck.
I would like laugh it off because, again, I'm used to these things being said to me by my family, and or if they're not pertaining to me, these are things that are talked about all the time in the Black community, y'all. Like, so this sounds bad for me to say that like it was like normalized, but because it's really not okay. But I would just disregard it, and I would like, you know, make jokes back at him. I would roast him back. But like, this was not okay. This man hated me, y'all, for real. So one day I had came back home from vacation, and I'm not gonna lie, y'all, when I come back from vacation, I am always super bronzed, chocolate. I'm always dark. So I remember he came and he picked me up from the airport, and y'all, do y'all know this man turned to me with such disgust in his eyes, y'all, and he was like,
You are so dark.
I think it was at this moment where I was like, mind y'all, Tommy is dark, okay? I was dark coming back from vacation, but I still was not his color, okay? What are you trying to say, sir? So this is where things got really like, weird. So his mom would always make comments about his stepbrothers being super black and super dark, and like she would just talk about them like they were literal animals. Mind y'all, this is a Black woman. I want to say probably like 2 shades darker than me, okay? She would only say these things because her son, Tommy, was a little bit lighter than them, but they're all dark, y'all. They are all dark, right? So Tommy proceeds to literally say,
You out here looking like my brothers in them.
y'all, I absolutely lost it in the car, y'all. Like, I was like, you're literally a colorist. Like, your whole family is full of colorists. Y'all hate yourselves. Like, y'all hate the skin that y'all are in. And honestly, I feel like you guys hate being Black. Like, his mom literally thinks she's Caucasian or something, which is so... I can make a whole other video on that. I actually have a lot to say. But he starts getting so angry, y'all. And he like...
I'm not no colorist. Don't call me no colorist. What is wrong with you?
Starts going crazy. So I'm looking at him and I'm like, yeah, you a colorist. Because nobody would be this angry if they weren't. Just egging it on because you're actually angry at this point. So I'm like, you literally don't like black girls, and I wish you would literally just say that. He starts yelling even louder, y'all. I must have really struck a nerve. He like,
you sound real dumb. You sound real dumb. All my past girlfriends have been black. My ex is darker than you.
I was like, okay, and if she's darker than me, I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know the things that you were saying to her. As if he was going to make this situation any better. If I am lying, I am dying right here on this camera. He proceeds to say,
matter of fact, the only light-skinned girl I dated was literally ugly for a light-skinned girl.
I really need to understand, in what world is that helping your case? And it's literally giving the same thing as she's pretty for a dark-skinned girl. What the are you talking about? So anyways, we kept going at it, kept going back and forth. And I was really just telling him, like, you're a colorist. Your mama a colorist. Your granny a colorist. Y'all all colorists, and y'all are all black as shit. We did end up breaking up shortly after that. I have so many stories about Tommy. Tommy hated me, okay? That man hated my guts. I'm gonna be real, looking back at the relationship, I think I hated Tommy too. Because I'm gonna tell what I did too, but no, Tommy actually hated me for real. I realized a lot of black men date black women because that's what they're like supposed to do. But like a lot of them don't actually like black women because they don't like themselves. And it's really irritating to me because I just feel like, why are you gonna date a black woman and then criticize her for being black? If you date a black girl, she's gonna have black hair, black skin, and black features. I didn't know that was like rocket science. I don't know. I get that you hate yourself, but stop being weirdos. Anyway, stay blessed. Bye, y'all.
So, what do you guys think about this story time? I think in regards to the first story time, it is not the mother's responsibility to look out for you. As I always say, if you are in a relationship, your significant other's friends and family are not your friends or family. They will take the side of their friend and their family every single time. So there's no reason to have the assumption that she's going to do right by you in this situation. In addition to that, when we're talking about the second story time, she is currently not wearing her natural hair, which indicates a level of insecurity. While I absolutely disagree with what he was saying, I think that it is extremely sad that you continue to wear hair that is not your own and then go on to critique how he would degrade your hair. Again, not saying that it's acceptable. I will only date a woman that has my hair texture that I really love and really care for, because I think that this is the best hair. I think this hair is strong enough to lock, it's strong enough to coil, it's strong enough to withstand just about anything you throw at it. And so I love this hair because it is the genetically dominant hair. It is the hair that you are able to do anything with. And I think us as black people should love our hair and stop embracing the hair textures of others and instead embrace our own features. Also, I would like to say that in regards to colorism and black boys being colorists, what I have found is that much of the colorism that black men perpetuate or cast out into the world, they oftentimes adopt it from their mothers. I find it very peculiar. It's the same thing with women not wearing their natural hair in our community. Much of the black men that I have encountered that actually think that the nappy hair that we have and that we're blessed with is somehow disgusting or is not attractive are black men who were raised solely by their mothers and have adopted those talking points from their mothers. And on the final point that she made in regards to black men having to date black women and that is something that we're supposed to do, I think that black men genuinely love black women And I think that most black men want to be with black women. I don't think that there's any societal pressure. In fact, this is the day and age where there's the least societal pressure for black men to remain with black women. And statistically speaking, we overwhelmingly do. And that is not due to some force, but rather due to our own desire. So I absolutely disagree with that premise. But let me know down in the comments, do you guys agree with me? Do you think that it's not the mother's responsibility to look after her and the responsibility of a mother to look after her own son? And also, do you guys agree that it is good she distanced herself and got out of a relationship with him because he was absolutely a colorist, but that she also has some work to do on her own, considering she's yet to embrace her own features? Thank you for tuning into this Clocked Out Conversation. Like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.